Hello inhabitants of the World Wide Web, how's life? So, welcome to FanFiction Friday. I haven't done one in a long time, so please don't hate me. Since coming back from America, I've been like, lazy. I'm not gonna excuse it. We just finished chapter 1, so now let's go on to chapter 2. This is taking a lot longer than it ought to. Even the chapter name's weird. Oh god, this is gonna be a bad one, I can tell. Right, okay. Chapter 2, that burning feeling. Side note, I will paraphrase. Because the author's note, spoilers, there's gonna be a lot of 50 Shades of Grey. Can't even stop it. Hermione, this is awful. I've like literally got one word into it and I'm already regretting this decision. Okay, right, let's try and get this finished. Compose yourself, compose yourself. Hermione sat at the Gryffindor table looking nervous as hell. She had noticed him the minute he had walked in. His eyes had locked with hers. That was almost half an hour ago and his eyes were still underlined on her. It was creepy, like he knew something about her he shouldn't know. He does! Just saying, he does. He does. She shuddered, thinking that he knew about her secret desire to kiss him, do naughty things with him, and love him. She looked up at him every so often, just to check to see if he was still looking. His gaze was piercing and intense. It never faltered. Detention every night this weekend with Snape. How horrible, Ron announced abruptly, shaking Hermione from her thoughts. A full weekend of detention with Snape, actually, thanks to McGonagall. Hermione sighed, picking at her food. Come on, Hermione, eat, Harry urged, concerned for his distraught friend. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, she's not that distraught. You know, if she really likes him as much as she says she does, then she wouldn't be distraught having detentions with him. I'm not that hungry, to be honest, Hermione replied, giving her friends a small smile. I just want to serve my detention and go to bed. I am quite tired. Maybe he won't make you stay the full 4 hours, just long enough for you to finish your potion, Harry told her, trying to cheer her up. Either way, my night is ruined, Hermione replied, getting up and heading out of the hall without another word. She cast a backward glance and, as she had expected, Snape had disappeared. She walked out the doors with her head turned to look at the teacher's table, without watching where she was going, and bumped into a very firm chest, causing her to fall back on her ass. She never expected to see Professor Snape when she looked up. Who knew he was so toned? Miss Granger. I need to stop doing that. Miss Granger, you should be more conscientious of your surroundings while walking, Snape announced icily. Well, no one is usually lurking around doors to the Great Hall, Professor, Hermione told him as she stood up. Indeed. Snape started, narrowing his eyes at her. It seems Madame Pomfrey needs a new batch of Veritaserum for interrogating drunken students. The headmaster has instructed me to make you brew it as your punishment. This is not your average potion, and since this is your first time brewing it... Is it? Yeah, alright, I'll give you that one. Seeing as it's your first time brewing it, you will be required to watch it for the first... Since this is your first time brewing it, you will be required to watch it for the first 3 days. Huh? Unless it needs to brew for 3 days. Does it need to brew for 3 days? I don't know. Hermione could have screamed with delight, but she settled for a smile though. But Professor, if I must watch it for a full 3 days, when will I sleep? Hermione asked, her smile faltering slightly. You will be taking a stamina potion of mine. Whoa! So now he's drugging her? What? Oh my god! This is so messed up! You'll be taking a stamina potion of mine. I suggest going and getting anything you will need for the weekend. So she's going to be living in the potions lab for the next 4 days. That's just... Oh, I read ahead. Oh, that's not good. Oh, okay. Right. Meals will be delivered to my room, Snape told her, loving the way her face had lit up. But what about showering? Hermione asked, trying to find a way to get out of his classroom even for a moment that weekend. I suppose you will be permitted to use my personal facilities, Snape replied, rolling his eyes to keep his facade, but secretly wondering how Hermione looked naked. Pervert! Now, you have 10 minutes to get your things and get to my classroom. 10 minutes for a girl to pack 4 days worth of clothes. As well as books. That's a point. What about all her lessons? Or are they going on like half term or something? But she has lessons to get to. If they're not on half term, which I think they're not, she has lessons. This isn't plausible. Ugh. Hermione watched him walk away, and when she was sure he couldn't... Oh, no, zoomed in. Oops. Hermione watched him walk away, and when he was sure he couldn't see her, danced in a circle happily. Veritaserum wasn't in the Hogwarts curriculum, and thus was more complicated than anything she would do in her regular potions class. Although the Veritaserum took a full moon cycle to mature, the first 3 days were the most crucial. After that, its effectiveness varied on the length of time it was left to mature. She looked at the time and squeaked. She didn't want to be late for her detention. She raced up to her bedroom, packed 2 changes of clothes, her brush, her toothbrush, her homework and a few books to read while watching the potion. She raced back downstairs and almost oh, I've got spit all over it now. She raced back downstairs and was almost out of breath when she reached Snape's room. She knocked on the door and waited for her signal to enter. Snape had laid out Hermione's supplies on the desk next to his, so he could watch her closely. A knock at the door brought his attention to the small vial in his pocket. The stamina potion he would keep up for her for exactly 3 days. At the end of those 3 days, she would be very, very tired and would be excused from classes in favour of sleep. Enter, Snape called. Hermione walked in with a smile on her face and a duffel bag in hand. She approached the desk, a small bounce in her step. She was obviously excited. He wondered if one day she would walk towards him with such excitement. Your ingredients laid out on the table in front of you, as well as the instructions. This is a very advanced potion, Miss Granger. Now then, are you ready to take the stamina potion? Snape asked her, walking towards his desk. Yes, Professor. Aren't you supposed to take a stamina potion with something to drink? Hermione asked, walking towards his desk. You are correct, Miss Granger. I happen to know for a fact that you are of age to drink, and thus I have decided... Oh my god, he's giving her alcohol. My god, he's giving her alcohol. He gonna give her fire whiskey. Okay, have you ever drank fire whiskey, Miss Granger? Snape asked her, pouring the fire whiskey into 2 shot glasses. So he's... Okay, this is so inappropriate. This is... Oh, I mean, I know the whole premise was inappropriate to begin with, but this is just getting worse by the word. So he's drugging her, giving her alcohol, and forcing her to stay in his room while she does out her detention. I'm sorry, but this is weird. This is worse than the bloody My Little Pony fanfiction. Come on. No, I haven't, Professor, Hermione told him, curious to see what it tasted like. I should have known. You are far too modest to drink, Snape replied, keeping up his cruel nature. Actually, I have been drunk once before. Oh, guys, watch out, we got a badass over here. But it was off of Muggle vodka, and only happened so I wouldn't chicken out of getting a tattoo with my cousin. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. So she got drunk and had a tattoo. That is not Hermione, as far as I am aware. I mean, alright, okay, I know she saved Hogwarts from Voldemort, and I know, you know, she's been pretty badass in all the other books and films. But do you really think she'd be the sort of person to get a tattoo? I don't. This is just getting worse. Snape turned to face her, handing her one shot glass with an odd expression on his face. What in the hell is a tattoo? Snape asked her, curious. Oh, right, wizards don't have tattoos. It'd be cool if they did, though. I mean, like, you know how the pictures move? It would be cool if you had a tattoo and it moved. That would be pretty sick. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that would be awesome. That needs to happen. Please, J.K. Rowling, if you're gonna do a spin-off, please make tattoos that move. I would love that, but to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to the whole sequel thing that you're planning on giving out. But if you were gonna do it, make tattoos that move. That would be awesome. Basically you take a needle with ink on it and draw a picture on your skin. It breaks a few layers of skin and is permanent, Hermione explained. Kind of like the dark mark, only they are removable, although the process is painful, Snape snapped. Snape snapped. Little things, making Hermione wince. Either way, I do not believe your story. Well, that's ironic. Hermione was outraged. She let loose... Oh no, that was my fault. She could let loose once in a while. To prove her point, she pulled up her shirt and pulled her pants down a little. Here comes the irony. Bad grammar. I have found it. I have found the bad grammar. On her hip was the image on, that's meant to be of. On her hip was an image of a snake about the size of a playing card. Isn't that funny? Snape looked at the snake with interest. So she really had let some guy mark her. It made him angry, but he knew that it wasn't a possessive mark. The fact that it was a snake brought a smile to his lips. And that is where we're going to leave it here. So, Hermione's got a tattoo of a snake. That's all from me for now. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye!